All right, it's showtime. I have no idea what I'm going to show you because I'm taping this part first, and I'm scheduled to probably go see Queen's sister. I don't know, because every time I call Queen, she said, "Oh, I'm ready, Mark." Then I call her back. She say, "I ain't ready because I got some drama." So we'll see if I'm gonna go down the street and see Queen or not. I don't know. I may even go down to my old high school finger. I went to Curtis Elementary School. It was in fact in the 1976. All the freshmen at Finger High School had to go to Curtis. All the freshman classes in the 70s. We were the last freshman class to go through Curtis School, which is elementary school now, on 115th and State. That was in 1976, 77. Then for the next 3 years, we went over to the main campus, the main building, of course, the Finger High School, where, you know, the legends say, well, it's really true. It's not a legend. It's really true. More than a legend. Ellie and Nessa attended Finger High School. And so I went there between 77 and 80, 3 years. Because the first year was at Curtis. And I dropped out 30 years ago. It felt like it was yesterday. Maybe I'll show Finger High School. And I haven't gotten over it. I know I should let it go. But what hurts me is that Finger was a meat grinder back then. And is a meat grinder now. And let me say this. Like I told you in my book, in my Willie Lynch book, I really should maybe bring up the graphic for my Willie Lynch book. Maybe I don't have it. I don't. Maybe I will bring up the graphic for my Willie Lynch book, because it's on a blog now. You can see it and read it all you want. Read that chapter on black women. That's right. A lot of folks didn't want to promote my book because I was hard on the sisters, and I need to be hard on black women because they're the first teachers of the children. The public schools are a meat grinder. They turn African Americans, and most people, but for the case of this show, African Americans, into Negroes or the N-word. I used to say the N-word, and if you make me mad, I'll say it again, or the N-word. Either Negroes, bootlicking, race-neutral Negroes, or the N-word with an S on it. Matt and Perry from WVON likes to call them ninjas in place of the other word, the other N-word. You understand that? Matt and Perry on WVON radio. Ninjas. But you know what I'm saying. And that's what they do. So those who make it well, make it out of the public school system, who graduated from Finger back in the day. I left in 80, dropped out in 80. 30 years ago. Seemed like it was yesterday. Yikes. And they teach you never to come back and help your people. That's what's wrong with African Americans, because we so messed up now. I was at a, let me say, let me indulge. How much time I got left? I know you can't see the clock. I got just a few minutes left. Let me indulge before we go into the, I want to take a break, but let me just go straight through. I don't go to the public schools anymore to speak because I've lost my patience with these younger generations. I go to the ghetto schools, and I mean ghetto. And that's all with all due respect. I'm not saying because, you know, we're all, you know, by the grace of God go I. And your behind too, okay? So I go to the more tougher schools, and you know there's a lot of destabilization in the lower income African American neighborhoods. So when I speak to those students from lower income African American neighborhoods, they can't understand what I'm saying, because as the saying goes, who you are speaks so loudly I can't hear a word that you're saying. Let me say that again. Who you are speaks so loudly I can't hear a word that you're saying. Just like the students, some people watch this show, they say, Mark, he's not a Christian. Who he is, he speaks so loudly I can't hear what he's saying. He's not a pastor, he's not a preacher, he's not an alderman, he's not a state rep, he's not a doctor, a lawyer, he's not a professional, he's just a limo driver. That's what I do by trade. So who he is, who I am, speaks so loudly most of you can't hear what I'm saying. Then for most African Americans, we still can't get over the skin tone thing. Because I look Puerto Rican, if I wear a beard, I look Arab, I look like a lot of people. Okay? So, you know, and I'm going to dovetail in. I was speaking in the classroom, and I was telling them, and they made me mad. And the girls, it was a bunch of 16-year-old girls in the classroom, juniors, I think, juniors, sophomores, juniors. And they made me mad, and I asked them, why is it going to be hard for you to marry a brother? And why most African American women are not married, and never will be married. How come the brothers are so inept, and how come you can't find a good brother if you want to marry a African American man? The root cause of all of this is white supremacy, a term our children have never heard of. If they're like teenagers, most of them have never heard the term. So they can't analyze, contextualize, or deconstruct it. We know that. And so they don't understand what I'm saying. After I say white supremacy is the cause of all our issues and that kind of stuff. And sound like Malcolm X, right? And so, and one of the girls, I told her my history. Mr. Sims, are you white or black? Mr. Sims, are you white or black? And I told them I was born in 1962, Mount Sinai Hospital. We were Negroes, that's on the birth certificate. We were colored before I showed up. We were black for a while, now we're African American. And then we have this multiculturalism, post-racial society that we live in. It's so confusing who we are and where we're going. And that's the problem, because when I was a child back in the day, we were a people. Now we're just people. The best and brightest, the mulattoes, what you call it, the multiculturals, the people who look mulatto like me, if you will, they have moved away from the hood and they say, the hell with you Negroes. And I understand why. Because it's damn near impossible. Because it's not their fault. We only know what we know. When I walked out of Finger High School at 17 years old in 1980, or I had to go back like 86 to night school to get my high school degree. But when I walked out at 80, I ain't coming back. And I was crazy, full of hormones, 17-year-old, just nuttier than a freaking fruitcake. And I knew it all in 1980. When I was 17, I knew it all. I knew all that I knew at that time. Every time I think I figured it out, the world, who I am, and how we fit into this, the cosmos, then Dr. Whitaker or somebody like Dr. Rhymes, somebody comes along with some new book, a new idea, a new thought, and I say, I don't know it all. I got to continue to learn, grow, and expand. And that's what I tell the young people. You think you know it all, but you don't know it. I heard that when I was a kid. I got offended when I heard it, but now I understand. Because you don't know it all. You're constantly learning. You should be constantly learning, growing, and expanding. And you got to travel, and you have to read. Vicariously travel the cosmos through words and other people's ideals and whatnot. And then you have to travel as much as you possibly can, your neighborhood, the world, the country, whatever, so you can meet people and see new places. So you can expand your consciousness. Because the problem in our neighborhood and our children, for a lot of different reasons, most of them, all they know is the hood. And I tell them, you don't know jack but the hood. Let me take a break. Let me show you some videos and I'll be back.